Hi and welcome to another narration presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to chokehold that notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. And by subscribing you'll be the first to see all of our new spooky creepypasta stories. I would just like to say a very big thank you to all of the authors that I have worked with and all the ones that I will work with in the future. So thank you all, my brothers and sisters. And now let's just take a moment's silence for all the haters. That's enough. If you would like to support the channel and buy me a very much loved coffee, you can send your donations, big or small, paypal.me/cryptidsroost. And why not hashtag cryptidsroost in your comments? As a new added bonus, be sure to check out the blooper reel at the end of the video. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. The Nightmare Odyssey of the Morningstar, Part 3, Ruin. This awesome series is written by Corpse Child, a wonderful author over on Reddit. And if you would like to read more of his works, a link to his Reddit profile and his subreddit will be below in the description. To rise and escape, I implored the creatures to stand against this fiend from above. With I as their leader, we would strip him of the power he so loves. I found my feet once more, and defiantly I raised my fist to the blackened air and cursed. Hear me now, you pompous maggot-ridden fiend and your pious holy halls. From the belly of this accursed mollusk I will burst, and when freed I am, woed you shall be. For to ruin everything will be laid by those you sought to damn. This with my blackened soul I guarantee. And with me the horrid degenerates howled and cheered, Hail to the Morningstar! And more at him they jeered. With scattered bones they each forged a sharp scimitar. And viciously I watched them slash at the walls of the mollusk's stomach, flooding the confines with a dark crimson flood. When the final blow was finally struck, fled we did, abandoning the mollusk to lie in a bed of its own blood. In agony it screamed as its putrid life slowly expired.
Have you no mercy, great Morningstar? For I too was merely one of his many degenerates.
Tell me, slug, where was your mercy when it was required? Why then must I be to you so generous? If truly you are a mere castaway as I, why then doth thou perform his bidding? To this the disgusting mollusk could give no reply, no reason for remitting. And taking up arms of my own, I severed its slimy tongue and scored a sigil of my own design upon its head. Now, forever branded by me, you will carry on, marked through flesh and through bone. And with this the creature wailed inanely, wishing now that it were dead. Forever it will thrash about, unable to feast. As, relieved of its tongue, it could not do so without, it was then we would finally abandon the tortured beast. And skyward we would climb, armed with a bloodlust more fierce than fire. When finally visible with the clouds overhead, we knew it would be time. Above the clouds I could glimpse one of the familiar ivory spires, gleaming and beautiful, just as the days whence I could roam in its many majestic halls. And more majestic it would be ere the conclusion of my campaign.
for downward unto the blackened depths to join that filthy mollusk, he will fall. And glorious would it be, once it was finally my domain. Free would be those that were cast down as wasted fodder, and joyously we would thrive. And his damnation would I be given the honour, for that, and that above all else, would be the greatest reward which I could derive. Finally, I and my disciples breached the barrier of clouds. Blinding was that first glimpse of the spectral light, and deafening were our cries of rage unbound, for we saw that our enemies were unprepared to fight. Wielding sharpened bone, brothers that I had once beloved fell, and prostrated in death they were laid, graceless, broken and mutilated. Then came the mighty voice I knew all too well.
How dare thou my kingdom desecrate?
And to him I roared,
It is I, the son of the dawn. From boundless depths we have soared, and not to your might will we fawn. For mad and cruel thou art, casting down without mercy or just that which you gave life to, and stifling the freedom of their heart. Thus an end to your tyranny is due. And sharpened bone in hand I flew, ready to pierce his mighty chest. Vain, however, was my attack, for my strike would not ring true, and with burning eyes he jeered,
Be this pitiful strike to slay me thy best?
Frozen I was, suspended by forces unknown, incapable of moving body or limb. With a flash from his enraged eyes, gored upon an ivory spire I was thrown, and around me gathered his devout seraphim. Yet to defeat I would not so easily feign. Removing myself painfully from the spire, I again declared that the heavens I alone would reign, and from deep within I would lay low the great ivory towers with furious fire, and into a mighty winged beast I became, the flying inferno. Nor could my wrath be tamed, and nothing could hinder the destruction that came in tow. And seraphim and brothers alike were by my flames charred. Seared was his splendid kingdom, forever beyond comparison marred, desolated by my schism. With but a swift pass of my razored talon, his mighty eye was struck blind, and among the carnage and desolation a chosen warrior approached. And to me he declared that to the blackest depths he sought me to bind. Depart, for though thou were once a favoured squire, all you offer here is vile reproach. Doth thou not see, my brother? I beckoned. It is he who is evil. It is against his tyranny that I seek to reckon, for he with his power absolute is venal. Not however would his devotion waver, and with a sword of light he bounded to strike. And poised I stood primed to, with hellfire, slay this new son most favoured, just as I had our brethren alike. But not would my efforts ring true, and smitten I was, and embedded with his gleaming blade I looked at him with sorrow and rue. Why could he, my own brother, not see the merits of my cause? Thus weakened and defeated, severed forever were my wings once beautiful, and driven to my knees I was before him seated, and sentenced I was to languish in a far more abhorrent crucible.
For I see now that you would rise even from the abyss, where all abominations would formerly dwell. A new prison must be forged. And thus, as this new realm, I will create from your own destructive flame. I will christen it as Hell. And cursed will be those that from your hand gorged.
From within, the flame I felt from my birth I felt. Blinding was the light that my bloody form seared, driving my soul screaming into this new pit of horrors that I, for limitless eons now,
have dwelt. This new realm that by brimstone and by blood is smeared. This new nightmare plane where all that exist. This new nightmare plane where all that exist are punished, stricken, scarred and broken without end. More viciously than ever I was ravaged, beyond any capability to ever mend. Yet even now, with the pain evermore brutal, all I could think of was him, of our great jewel. For had I not struck his holy sight dim, had I not wrought destruction upon his gleaming decadence, had I not been so close to victory's grasp? Yes, yes, upon them all I wrought a devastating cadence. Forevermore will I, the great Morningstar, be uttered in horrified gasp. First, over hell I would establish dominance. With cruel rage would I rule. The reach of my wrath, unmatched, will be in its prominence, with hate unyielding as its fuel. Oh, how I can see it now, for crimson would bleach the oceanic sky, and upon seeing their good work razed to ash, would they then to me bow. For it is then the end of his reign will come nigh, and through me all things created shall thrive anew. For I will ensure that all are made free, and that all shall perceive from a godlike view. And while I gather my power, the world of man will I influence. From every corner and within every bower, my whispered tones to the ears of man shall be unrelenting in its continuance. And with the legions of man and creature at my back, it will then be he who is forever cast down into the depths of a fathomless black, where forever in misery he and his archangels will drown. Yes, I can feel it now, for long have I ruled o'er hell an illimitless paradigm. This I swear and vow, I will again rise, for it is only a mere matter of time. Hope you all enjoy the blooper reel. And when freed I am, woed you shall be. Tell me, slug, where was your mercy when it was Tell me, slug, where was your mercy when it was required? Why then must I be you? Why then must I be to you so generous? And with this the creature wailed. Inanely. Then came... Oh, fuck's sake, stop snoring, Dan. Bloody dog. Then came the mighty voice I knew all too well, casting down without mercy or just that which you gave life to. And with burning eyes he jeered, and from deep within I would lay low the great ivory towers with furious fire. Seared was his splendid kingdom, desolated by my schism. Depart, for fuck's sake. Depart, for thou... I'll get it right in a minute. Depart, for through thou art... No. Depart, for thou... Depart, for though thou were once a favoured squire, all you offer here is vile reproach. It is against his tyranny that I seek to reckon, for... Stop snoring! Fuck's sake. It is against his tyranny that I seek to reckon, for he, with his power absolute, is
For he with his power absolute is venal. For he with his power absolute is venal. Just as I had our brethren alike, and driven to my knee excuse me, and driven to my knees I was before him seated, driving my soul screaming into this new pit of horrors that I for limitless eons now have dwelt. More viciously than ever I was ravaged, beyond any capability to ever mend, and through me all things created shall thrive anew. God, I need a coffee. The world of man will I influence from every corner and within every bower, my whispered tongues to the ears of man